Uh,
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome in tonight to Don Nasser Plaza here at the Swamp, where we welcome in the Cal Poly Pomona Broncos to face off the San Francisco State Gators here tonight. My name is Matt Massoni on play-by-play here with my partner Diego.
And my name is Diego Perez. I'm on color commentary tonight, and we're brought to you live from Chomp City, where the #1 in their conference, San Francisco State Gators, will be taking on the Cal Poly Pomona Broncos. It should be a great one tonight, Matt. The Gators are coming off 3 straight wins, and Pomona's coming off a losing streak, so we'll see if they can turn it around tonight.
And I'm excited. The Gators are 10-1 at home, which would be their best home record since 2009. They are dominating here at home in the Swamp. Let's have a great game tonight. Go Gators.
Absolutely, and we should have the opening serve coming in just a moment here. Both these teams are hyped and ready to go. We got a good turnout here at Dan Nasser Plaza, and we should have a great 3 sets for you, or maybe more. We'll see what happens.
This will be the Gators' 4th straight win if they can pull it off tonight. Gators starting out serving tonight as well. Taylor Garcia to start off for the Gators. Dug out by the Broncos, set to the setter. Free ball over to the Gators. Bump set to Jensen, middle attack, blocked at the net, saved, and hits the ground for the Broncos' first score of the night.
And that was a great effort there by San Francisco State on the defense, but they just couldn't get it over the net. We'll see if they can pick it back up here after the Cal Poly serve.
Cal Poly sides out with their first serve of the night here coming from Broncos. Dug out by Garcia, set to Jensen on the outside attack, tipped at the net. Dug out by the Bronco libero to an outside attack as well. And a free ball over that is killed by the Broncos, 2-0.
Man, and Cal Poly Pomona has come out with a real hot start here. It was a great kill attempt by Haney on that last offensive attack by the Gators, but they weren't able to execute.
Here with their second serve of the night, Caitlin Tucker. And she service error into the net, 2-1 Gators. Gators side out.
And real fortunate for SFSU there. They really needed a turn of events there. The missed serve will provide it for them.
Sophie Anderson to serve here for the Gators. Dug out by the Broncos on the service. Middle row attack. Tipped at the net. Blocked. Gators point.
All right, and now we got a tie game. And this is what I was expecting to see more of, a real aggressive Gators offense with Cal Poly Pomona back on their heels. We'll see if it continues.
Anderson to serve again in a 2-2 game. And the ball is served out for the Gators' first service error of the night.
Too much on that one for Sophie Anderson. We'll see if she can clean it up moving forward. They're going to need her good serves if they're going to want to win tonight.
Jasmine Parrish, the freshman from Cal Poly Pomona, here to serve with the jump serve. And that is served out of bounds for their second service error.
Way too far for Parrish. She's a standout player for Pomona. I'd keep an eye on her tonight to see if she could be an impact player for them.
Even though she is a freshman, she is definitely an impact player on that offense.
And here comes Haney on a serve. She had 2 aces last game.
Dug out by the Broncos on the opposite side, set to an opposite attack, tipped at the net, and they score off the tip.
And it was a good attempt there again for the SFSU defense, but it just goes right off the fingertips of number 2, Sophie Anderson, and out of bounds to give the Broncos a 4-3 lead.
Unfortunate set of circumstances, but Broncos 4-3. Broncos serve. Dug out by Garcia the libero on a free ball over, giving the Broncos an easy play. Outside attack and tipped at the net again, goes out of bounds, but still the Broncos score 5-3.
And that was a great cross-court attack on the kill there that just goes off the hands again of the San Francisco State defense. Just unfortunate there.
Broncos to serve again. Tipped at the net, and again, the Broncos are just getting lucky tonight to start off this match. A 6-3 lead with some unfortunate mistakes by the Gators.
Yeah, right off the tape for the ace. That's a tough one again for the Gators, but you got to give it to Pomona. They're coming out hot.
Definitely came to play tonight. Serve again, dug out by Garcia. Another free ball over, setting the Broncos up nice. Middle row attack, tipped at the net again. The Gators just can't get up on the block tonight and get those balls down.
Man, and Trinity Barr went up real vertical, had both hands up, and just still was able to get through that defense and for the clean kill for the Broncos.
Definitely a great effort by Barr there as the Broncos serve again, and another service error into the net. Gators side out in a 4-3 match, in a 4-3 game. That's their third service error of the night already.
And that was number 17, Bryn Sherbert out of Temecula. She's a junior. We'll see if she can get her save game back in the positive.
This is Jay Gillespie to serve here for the Gators in a 4-7 match. Powerful serve that is dug out by the Gators Broncos libero. Tipped at the net, but played nicely by the setter outside, and just finds the opposite row for outs for a point for the Broncos.
And what a kill for Jade Gillespie there, right on the line, just in bounds, beautifully executed. They're going to need some more offensive sets like that if they're going to turn this around. It is 4-8 Broncos lead.
Definitely a great attack there as the Broncos come to serve again. They've been dominant on the serve. Set to Jensen, nice with a dump, but dug out by the libero. Outside attack, tipped at the net. The Gators just can't get on the net and can't stop those tips from finding the floor tonight.
And they really took advantage of that dump by Jensen. Those have been a real dangerous tool for her all season. We'll see if she can get those going.
Although those free plays have been setting the Broncos up nicely for an easy offense tonight. Dug out by the Gators on the serve to an outside attack. It's a free ball over, another outside attack. Dug out nicely by the Broncos. A tip over by Garcia, dug out. Outside attack as well. Broncos play it. Tipped. And the tip finds that Bermuda triangle on the opposite side of the floor. 10-4 Broncos.
And I can't stress enough how hot Pomona has started this game. It was really what they needed if they were going to take this win away from the first place Gators.
Yeah, taking all the momentum out of the stadium right now. And another service error, though, siding out to the Gators. Their fifth of the night. So that's something the Broncos want to clean up. They would be dominating this game if it weren't for those errors.
I was just about to say that, Matt. The Gators have to be very appreciative that the Pomona serves have not been on point.
Here's Jensen to serve. Played nicely by the Broncos, but a bad pass. Outside back row attack. Almost up to the catwalk. Nice attack that hits the net. Unfortunately, doesn't make it over. Broncos score another point.
And the kill attempt there was by number 1, Drew Morris, who has 223 kills in the season and is the team leader. We'll see if she can get those over the net moving forward.
Yeah, I expect her to feed more and get more confidence boosted back up. Served by the Broncos, dug out. Set to bar, tipped at the net, but played nicely by the Broncos. Libero set, attacked by the opposite. That finds the floor again for the Gators.
And
Gators can't get anything going.
She was real high IQ there to tip it over, knowing that the SFSU defense was out of position. Like I said, keep an eye on her to be scoring points all night.
And that forces a timeout by head coach Matt Hoffman of the Gators. The score is 12-5 by the Broncos, leading right now. Gators just haven't been able to stay up on the block, and it's just unfortunately cost them.
I got to say, Matt, I think that Matt has have to be telling his team right now that they're going to have to pick up their intensity on defense and also really execute every single time they have a chance on offense, because Pomona is clearly out. They're hungry, and they want to get out of this losing streak.
Yeah, I definitely agree. If it's literally not for those 4 service errors, this would be a more than 12 to at least 1 game. So the Gators need to side out, get a nice momentum going, get a couple offensive nice plays going, and really get the momentum and the crowd back into this game as well.
And like you said before the game started, tomorrow they got a huge game against CSU San Bernardino. So they really want to get a win tonight to carry that momentum into the game tomorrow against the nation's best volleyball team.
Yeah, that's the nation's #1 ranked team. So you don't want to think they're overthinking a bad team tonight, knowing they have a big team to play tomorrow. But a good showing tonight would definitely get them prepared for tomorrow.
For the Gators, I would keep a close eye on Peyton Jensen and Trinity Barr to really get this offense going for them. They're a dynamic duo that can score a lot of points in a hurry.
And don't forget about the center middle blocker, Bailey Johnson, as well. She's a threat as well, as the Broncos serve in a 12-5 match here in the first set. Dug out by Garcia on the opposite side. Set to Jensen, mid-row attack. And force off the libero. Gators side out. That was Bailey Johnson right there, just as I said.
Bailey Johnson with a great kill. She's a senior. That's exactly what they need from her. She's the leader on this team, and way to pull them out of a deficit there. Score is 12-6, Broncos lead.
Gators serve here with the ball. Played by the Broncos to a outside attack, dug out by Jensen. Tipped up by Morris to an outside attack by the Gators, tipped at the net. Bumped by the Broncos, blocked at the net, tipped as well. Gators ball, set to Jensen. Outside attack, out.
It was a beautiful set by Jensen, but a little too much on it for Haney.
Yeah, I
thought give the score to the Broncos.
And I thought that was tipped at the net, but it didn't look like it. So Broncos side out and are here to serve in a 13-6 game.
Haney's another one to keep an eye on. She has some real ferocious kills, and I'm sure that Jensen and Thorson want to get her going.
Bronco serve here. Dug out by Trinity Barr. Over the net, though, unfortunately, to the Bronco setter. Middle attack. Set up by Jensen. Libero set by Garcia. Hammered down for a Gators point that goes off the wall here in the gym.
And Taylor Garcia has been everywhere to start this game. Playing libero for the Gators, she has been real active on defense, and not to mention, she is already the team's leaders for digs.
Yeah, 302 digs on the season as she prepares to serve here. 7-13 Gator serve. Dug out by the Broncos to a set on the outside attack. Tipped at the net and tipped by Morris herself, and it finds the floor. Broncos side out.
And that was Jasmine Parrish again for Pomona. She is clearly their number one offensive factor. They're going to have to get some defense in front of her if they're going to make a comeback here in this first set.
Most definitely, Diego. Definitely agree. Broncos serve here. Played by Morris. Set up to Gillespie. Tipped at the net. Finds the floor for a Sophie Anderson score.
And what a beautiful back set by Jensen. I'm going to have to call that her signature move. Last time I was out here with you, Matt, she had 5 or 6 of those, and they work like a charm.
And here's Sophie Anderson to serve off that point. Bump set by Jasmine Parrish. Hammered at the line, finds the floor in the back corner for a Broncos score. They are dominating this set so far, 15, side out Broncos in a 15-8 match.
And that was number 4, Daisy Duke. Real accurate on that kill attempt, right on the back stripe, inbounds, Broncos score.
Dug out by Garcia, bump set by Jensen for a free ball over for the Gators. Taken by the Broncos setter, hammered down in an air by Garcia. That scores another point for the Broncos.
And there's Duke again with a great kill. She's going to be one to look out for. She just came in off the bench and clearly using those fresh legs to the Broncos' advantage. It's 16-8. Gators are down.
The freshman Parrish serving. Bump by Garcia, the libero, set to Jensen. Middle row attack that finds the back row. No, excuse me, I apologize. It is a point for the Broncos. Hold on, folks.
They called it inbounds. It's a score for Trinity Barr.
Yeah, I thought my eyes weren't deceiving me. That ball definitely was in the court. Here's Haney to serve. Played nicely by the Broncos. Bump set by the libero. Set by Garcia. Set to Jensen. Outside attack. Tipped. Broncos play the ball with the back row attack. Bump set by Jensen for an outside attack. Tipped by Morris. Tipped at the net. Middle row attack that played off the shoulder of Sophie Anderson. Broncos score again, 17-9.
And that was Jane Woodward for the Broncos coming up real high to get that kill, and the Broncos defense was just not able to send it back. We're going to see if Pomona can keep up this early momentum. They really have a hot start, and I'm excited to see this game, Matt.
Yeah, Broncos serving here again. Garcia bump to a Jensen set to a Barr. Out. Barr hammered it home, but it was outside. Broncos serve again.
And that's the second missed kill attempt by Trinity Barr. We'll see if she could clean it up to finish out this first set. Score is 18-9. Broncos lead.
Set by Jensen to an outside attack by Morris. They can rely on her when they need a point right there.
That was the best offensive set I've seen from the Gators today. Drew Morris with a great kill, caught the Pomona defense back on their heels, and now it's only 8 points to catch up to the Broncos.
Gillespie to serve here for the Gators. And a service error out of bounds by the Gators, forcing a 19-10 score.
Number 10, Michaela Diamond up to serve for the Broncos.
Broncos serve. Set by Morris and a free ball over that is hammered down by the middle blocker of the Broncos. Nothing going right for the Gators in this set.
Defensive play by Caitlin Tucker for Cal Poly Pomona. They were really coming into this first set looking to make a statement.
San Francisco with 5 attack errors on the night, not doing them any favor on the offensive side. Dug out by Anderson, though, with an attack to Morris. Played nicely by the libero of the Broncos. Jensen with the set to an attack. Off the net, tipped and find the floor. Great attack by Bailey Johnson.
To Johnson, another dynamic duo for the Gators. Overhead set by Jensen. told you earlier, that's her patented trademark move, and she went to it again for the score.
Yeah, just like you said, here's Jensen to serve. Played nicely by Parrish to the Broncos setter. Nice dig by the Gators on the defensive side to Morris. Off the net and finds the floor. Gators getting a little momentum here with 2 straight points.
Oh, yeah, they would definitely need this. And Brenna Dougherty really kept that play alive with the dig there on the opposite side to set up the kill for the Gators. 12-20 Broncos lead.
Jensen with their second serve right now. Dug out by Parrish again. Broncos set. Back row attack, outside attack. Pancake by Garcia. Attack by Morris. Oh, and off the net with a free ball over by the Gators. A little bit of hectic there. Attack by the Broncos. Played nicely by the Gators. Set nicely up to Morris. Tipped at the net. Broncos tip as well. Played nicely by Garcia on the defensive side. Tipped at Jensen. Morris with an attack. And it finds the floor as it gets between the net and the defenders.
What a volley there, Matt. I cannot believe the Gators were able to pull that one through. Defensive plays all over by Garcia, and way to kill it by Morris to get the score at the end.
3-0 run here for the Gators, getting some momentum. Jensen serving. And unfortunately, a service error out of bounds by Jensen in the Gators side out Broncos.
She had 2 good serves there before getting the error on the third one. We'll see if the Gators could use those last couple points to turn this first set around.
Broncos serving here, dug out by Morris to an attack on Anderson. That is out of bounds again. Another forced error by the Gators, 22-13 Broncos.
And with only 3 more points to steal the first set for the Broncos, you've got to think the Gators want to turn it on right now.
Broncos serve. Played by Morris, but not cleanly, but Morris with this hit. Dug out by the Broncos on the opposite side to the Broncos setter. Played by Jensen. Bump set by the libero. Hit over by the Broncos. Played by Middleborough. Attack. Tipped at the net. Finds the floor. Bailey Johnson with the attack. She was the whole offense there, getting the bump set to the Jensen to the attack as well.
And way to put enough on that to get it through the defense. As you saw, it hit the front line of Pomona, but still had enough power to get through, stay in bounds, and give the score to the Gators.
Junior Drew Morris here to serve in a 14-22 match.
They're going to need to keep the possession if they want to win this first set. Oh, and there she goes, gives it up. Right as I say it, Drew Morris with the service error will give the ball back to Pomona.
Both teams have 4 service errors in this match. Earlier it was keeping the Gators in the match, but now it's unfortunately hurting them. Broncos serve here. Played toughly on the other side. That was just an all-around bad play by the Gators defensively.
Tried her best to keep it in balance, but it was way too far out of the line. Sophie Anderson, great hustle to stay with it, but it couldn't get over the net. Another score, game point for the Broncos.
Here we go. Broncos serving here. And it's tipped off the net, dug out by Morris, set to Jensen. Johnson hammers it home off the back row defensive player of the Broncos and finds a point for the Gators.
And who else but Bailey Johnson to keep the Gators alive in this first set?
The senior hitting at 38% ranks good for 20th in the nation, so she's definitely one of the more offensive weapons the Gators have.
And we'll see if Garcia can get an ace for the Gators. They could use it.
Played nicely by the Broncos opposite. Attacked by Parrish, but blocked finally by the Gators on the net, and they finally get a nice block that scores them a point.
And what a front line there made up of Sophie Anderson and Trinity Barr to send that kill attempt by Pomona back.
Gators trying to stay in this match. Tipped over. Set by the libero Garcia to Jensen. And a free ball over that looked kind of played off the net. Jensen sets it to an outside attack. Tipped at the net by the Broncos, played by Parrish. And she plays it out of bounds towards the scorekeepers. Gators want to stay in this match.
What a fantastic sequence here. That was another overhead serve by Jensen, this time to Jessica Haney to give another score to the Gators. It's a 17-24 score right now. Broncos are still in the lead, but the Gators are doing a great job staying alive.
Yeah, and that forces the Broncos time out here as they try and get a little bit of composure and finish, hopefully, as they try to finish off this match and as the Gators try and stop them. Gators are getting a little momentum. They're getting a little more offense flowing. They're feeding the seniors, feeding their good hitters, Morris, Haney. It's definitely a little bit of sight to see.
And you got to think when Pomona had an 8-point lead late in that first set that they had it in the bag, but the Gators aren't going to go that easy. Like I said, they're the leaders, #1 placed in their conference right now, and they're not going to go to rest like that. They're going to fight with everything they got, even if it's just the first set. and they're going to try to get a sweep tonight. Like I said, last 3 games have been 3-1. They want to get that sweep tonight going into the game tomorrow.
Yeah, and the Gators ranked 2nd hitting percentage in the conference, so they have the offensive firepower. It's just a point of getting the offense to their hitters and then getting it flowing.
And like you said, they've been targeting their seniors, looking to the team leaders to try to get that momentum back on their side. And we got their libero, Taylor Garcia, who's been playing fantastic tonight, back to serve.
17-24, Gators serve with the Broncos lead. Broncos getting a little sweat wiped up off the floor real quick. Potentially icing Garcia as a server here.
And here we go.
Played by the Broncos, set to the setter. Outside attack by Parrish. Played nicely defensively, but unfortunately no one was there to recover Jensen. And the Gators lose the first set by a score of 25-17.
And Jensen could not get there for the dig to keep the Gators alive, but I have to commend them for the sequence they put together before the end there. They didn't go out quietly. They kept fighting and got 17 points on the board before that set ended. Well, it's interesting to see what will happen here as set 2 gets started.
Yeah, the Gators need to get a little more offensive going. They definitely have the firepower too. The service error by the Broncos and the service errors by the Gators are something that needs to be cleaned up as well. The Gators are ranked 11th nationally in aces per set with 2.16, so they have the ability to dominate on the service side.
Most definitely. And just to comment on that last play one more time, Peyton Jensen has 134 digs on the season, so she's more than qualified as a fantastic defender. So we'll see if she could get herself going on that end of the court, starting when the second set gets started.
Bailey Johnson led the first set with 4 kills, followed by Morris with 3, Haney with 2, Anderson with 1, and Barr with 1. She is also hitting, Johnson's also hitting for an 1,000 hitting percentage, only upping her 38% in the nation.
That is a really impressive stat there, Matt. And I think you said earlier, the Gators are 10-1 this season here in Chomp City at Don Nasser Plaza. So they're playing not only for momentum coming into tomorrow's game versus San Bernardino, but also to protect that home court, which they've done a fantastic job doing up to this point in the season.
Yeah, the Gators love playing here at the Swamp, so I expect them to come out with a little bit more energy, not let the Broncos take such a lead in this second set, and expect to dominate and get on a nice roll in this second set.
We got about a minute and a half left until the second set starts, but here we got a nice replay for you of some of the action from that first set. That was number 2, Jasmine Parrish on the serve. She has definitely been an impact player in the first set like we expected, Matt.
Yeah, and the Broncos continuing to dominate on the serving side as a service error for the Gators goes over, and they easily put that ball over with a nice offensive play.
And we've seen a lot of service errors on both sides from either team today. We'll see if the teams can get it cleaned up, because they're going to have to play better if they're going to want to win the next 3 sets and get the win for the Gators.
Definitely, yeah. And like we were talking about earlier, all this momentum that the Gators can gain tonight, they can take into tomorrow versus the number 1 ranked team. And we expect a lot of Gators fans to pack this arena tomorrow night. The game's at 7 o'clock. A lot of students get in free, so come out and show some support and give these Lady Gators some love.
Absolutely. And here we are approaching set number 2 with about 30 seconds left. I am sure Matt Thorson, the coach for the Gators, is trying to get his girls fired up and ready to take a W here in set number 2. But Pomona doesn't want to let that happen. They want to keep the momentum on their side and steal this win, because like I said earlier, they've had 7 straight losses. So they really, really need this win if they want to come out with a productive season.
All right, here we are in the second set, as the Gators are now on our side of the court. Garcia, the libero, checks in for the middle blocker, Johnson. And here we are to begin the second set.
And look for number 6 on the Gators, Trinity Barr, to get going. She can be a real offensive factor with her kills. She has been great for the first half of the season and is looking to continue her great performances tonight.
And that might be a little bit of a game plan they have in the second half. That's a great point, Diego. It's definitely something we should look for as the Broncos serve here. Played by Morris to Jensen, the setter. Attacked by Haney, tipped at the net, but played nicely by the Broncos to the Broncos setter. And Parrish, who hammers the back row of the Gators floor for a 1-0 score.
And how about that vertical from Paris? She only stands 5'7", but she gets above the net like she was easily 6 feet tall.
Bunnies, as what they call it. Hops in the NBA. She can get up for sure. Played by Jensen and an attack by Barr.
Good defense by Pomona to keep that play alive.
And another attack by Barr. 2 on the night, Diego. Played nicely. Jensen to set. Morris free balls it over, pushes it over. Broncos play it cleanly. Oh, but the Gators get defensively, and an attack by Haney, tipped at the net. And unfortunately, as Garcia dives, it finds the floor.
And that front wall by Pomona has been impenetrable all night. They're getting up for the kills on the Gators side, but they just haven't been able to get through those hands. You got to say great job to the Broncos defense.
Yeah, they're definitely on the block tonight for sure. Played by Morris on the serve. Killed by
number 2, Sophie Anderson.
Number 2,
out of bounds.
Yeah, Sophie Anderson, but out of bounds. I apologize.
Number 11, Kyra Zimmerman for her second serve.
Played by Morris, low, and an error by Morris on the backside. Their first error of the match. 4-0 Broncos, an early lead just like the first set.
And a great start serving for the Broncos. Clearly an area of emphasis coming into the second set.
Bumped again by Morris, set to Jensen, attack by Haney, hammered home, right past the 10-foot line. A great attack, Gators ball.
That is the Jessica Haney I'm used to seeing. Coming up, real aggressive, going across court with the kill. Look for more plays like that moving forward tonight.
And Garcia to serve. She went on a nice run to end last set. Let's see if she can keep that momentum going. Played nicely by the Broncos, though. Set to the outside, and that is just finds the...
Very fortunate for the Gators there to keep the possession.
Yeah.
Taylor Garcia coming up for a serve.
Garcia serves. Tipped right off the net, but to the Broncos setter for an opposite attack. Played nicely by the Gators. Bump set to Jensen. Tipped at the net. And unfortunately off Anderson and over to the scorer's table. 5-2 Broncos side out.
And another great defensive play by the Broncos. I saw Daisy Duke getting up there on that defensive play, sending it back too quick for the Gators to respond and getting another score for the Broncos. They're out to a quick 3-score lead.
And the Broncos already have 2 blocks in this set as well, so they've been dominating this set. But a service error out of bounds by the Broncos keeps the Gators into it. 5-3 Gators ball.
And a rare mistake there by number 2, Jasmine Parrish. We've been calling her name a lot tonight. She's been the best and most efficient scorer on the Broncos side.
Here's sophomore Sophie Anderson to serve. Dug out by the Broncos, libero to their setter to an outside attack. Played nicely by Anderson to the setter herself. Haney on the attack, tipped at the net, finds the back row right next to the referee. 4-5 Gators ball.
Was that a replay there, Matt? I feel like we just saw that play. Jessica Haney again off a great set by Jensen. Another score for the Gators. They're only down 1.
Anderson to serve again. A free ball over by the Broncos. Sets up Jensen nicely for a little back row attack that is pancaked by the libero of the Broncos. Free ball over. Played nicely by Garcia. To Haney again. Tipped at the net, but Garcia helps her out with the dig. Peyton Jensen plays it. Tipped at the net by the Broncos. They're on the defensive side. Gators balls. Haney over. Broncos set. Attack. Tipped at the net. Anderson plays the dig. Haney again. And they called a double on Jensen. A rare forced error. A great volley there by the Gators and Broncos, though.
And you won't see that call too many times getting called on Jensen. She's an absolutely fantastic setter. And I have to say, Matt, if you told me that this Pomona team was last place without me looking it up, I would have a hard time believing you.
Yeah, they're definitely putting on a show tonight here in the Swamp as it's dug out by Garcia on the serve. Jensen tips it over. Broncos ball. They play it to an outside attack. Out, and the ball's out of bounds. Keeping it close for the Gators. Gators side out.
And too much on it on the kill attempt there by the Broncos. They've been having real good offensive attacks up until this point in the second set. We'll see if they can keep that efficiency up for the rest of the game.
Haney to serve. And a nice serve, but out of bounds. Their first service error of the night as well, of the set as well.
And a quick back and forth there. We've been seeing a lot of that today, Matt. We'll see who can control the possession in this second set to take hold of that momentum and really grab control of this game at a real crucial point.
Yeah, momentum is key right now as the Broncos serve. Played by Morris, set to Jensen, attacked by Morris, who hammers it down on the near side, right to the right side of the defender, keeps the Gators in it.
Beautiful kill there by Drew Morris. I have to say that I think was her best attack of the night.
Yeah, they were thinking going middle, and she played it on the near side, which was a surprise for the Broncos defender. And now we have Jade Gillespie to serve here for the Gators, 7-6 Broncos. Tipped at the net, but the Broncos play it. Outside attack, tipped at the net, and the Gators, unfortunately, can't get those blocks and get the hands together as it falls between the two blockers, and the Broncos side out.
And Barr and Jensen did a great job of getting up in time there, but that kill just had so much velocity on it. It broke right through those set of hands and got in for the Broncos score. They lead by 2.
Split the Gators' hands as they play their serve defensively. It's dug out by Morris. Set to Jensen, who serves her as well. A tip ball. Broncos play it to a setter, back row attack. That is off the net, doesn't make it over to the side. Gators hanging in there by the thread of their teeth right now.
And you haven't seen too many back row attacks by the Broncos tonight, and that one didn't go too well. We'll see if they could keep it up in the front where they've been more effective.
We got Peyton Jensen to serve for the Gators here.
And this could be a turning point for the game.
Nice serve. It's played defensively by the Broncos. A set to that's tipped off the Gators defender and again finds the floor.
The Gators are really going to have to strengthen up that front wall if they're going to bolster their defense moving forward. A lot of the kills are getting through, even if they're getting the jumps up in time.
Both teams with 3 attack errors as the Broncos serve again. It's dug out by Garcia, set to Jensen, who feeds it to Anderson. Out of bounds, though. 10-7 Broncos ball, going on a little bit of a run here, as you mentioned.
Absolutely, and with the score being 10-7, like I said, it's a crucial point to see who can take the momentum for the rest of the match.
Played by Garcia defensively to Jensen, attacked by Barr. The freshman gets the Gators a point.
And that's what I was expecting from her tonight. Trinity Barr with some great elevation, beautiful timing on the set, and execution even prettier. Gators only down by 2 with number 1, Drew Morris, to serve.
And Barr has 2 kills in this, so she's definitely making an impact as she is set to serve here.
Yep, there's 2 more.
Drew Morris serving. Played by the Broncos defensively. And an outside attack tipped at the net, but played by the Gators. Attack by Barr, again dominating.
Thundering kill by Trinity Barr. She's clearly hyped up after that last score. 2 in a row for Barr. Gators only down 1.
And here we go again with the serve by the Gators. Out of bounds, another forced service error by the Gators.
And high IQ by the Broncos to get out of the way of that close serve just outside the back line. Number 11, Kyra Zimmerman, to serve for the Broncos.
Played nicely by Morris, though. That's unfortunately close to the net as the ref calls an over the net on a Broncos middle blocker. Gators ball and a point.
Fortunate for the Gators there to keep them within 1 score. They got Taylor Garcia back to serve, who can get dangerous from there. We'll see if she can get herself going here in the second set.
Played by the Broncos. Toughly as an outside attack, but Garcia digs it out close to the catwalk. Jensen Dehaney. Dug out by the libero on the other side, close to the catwalk again. Do an outside attack. Tipped at the net, but played nicely by the Gators. Libero set to Haney. And it is in to the far side of the Gators, of the Broncos floor.
Another fantastic kill by Haney and great IQ by Jensen to be behind that tip over early in that volley. She knew exactly what was coming. The Broncos have been trying that move all night.
Haney with 5 kills in this set, having a great match so far. Outside attack by the Broncos. Another tip, but played nicely. Jensen to a libero set to Haney again. Tipped at the net. Her 6th kill of the set.
Haney is catching fire right now. I would really keep an eye on her moving forward in this second set. Her teammates are massaging her shoulders. She's going to be the one to get the momentum back in the Gators' hands.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the first time the Gators have led all night. So it's got to be kind of nice getting back in the driver's seat of this match and going on a run.
And it's real surprising you say that, Matt, being the standings of these 2 teams. Just a reminder, the Gators are number 1 in their Northern Conference, and Pomona is last place in theirs. But you can see Pomona really has heart. They're trying to steal a win here tonight. They already took the first set. They're only down by 1 here in the second set, with the score being 12-11. They still have a chance to steal this one, Matt.
Yeah, sometimes when you're an underdog, people talk about just coming in and getting a moral victory, but the Broncos are actually coming in and trying to get a victory tonight, upsetting the Gators before they take on #1 San Bernardino tomorrow night.
And you know what they say about underdogs, Matt? The longer you can hang around in a game versus a better team, the higher the likelihood that you can steal that win. And it could really provide some much-needed confidence for the Broncos moving forward. They got some tough opponents ahead, same as the Gators do.
Yeah, any point here that keeps the Broncos into with a high-powered offense like the Gators definitely gives them any hope of life, and we don't want any of that for the Broncos. We're trying to stomp them out tonight and see a Gators win before tomorrow.
12-11, Gators lead. We're in set number 2. Taylor Garcia is back to serve for the Gators.
Dug out by the Broncos on the opposite side, toughly to an outside attack by Parrish, who tips it into the net, mistimes her attack. 13-11, Gators ball. Garcia to serve again.
And an attack error there by Jasmine Parrish. Like I said, rare mistake from her. She's been real good all night.
Garcia serves, dug out by the defender to Parrish again, who, just as you mentioned, attacks the far side of the floor, finds some space, and gets a point for the Broncos.
And if I was the Broncos, I'd be doing the exact same thing they are, getting it to their best player, putting her in a position to succeed, and scoring against this high-ranked team.
Broncos serve here, dug out by Garcia. Nice play, set to Jensen to Haney. Tipped at the net, and again, with her 7th kill of the set, dominating here, Jessica Haney gets a point.
And picks up right where she left off. The Broncos tried to cool her down with the timeout, clearly ineffective. Haney is picking up, like I said, right where she left off, getting another kill.
Anderson serving here. A forced error by the service of Anderson forces a point for the Gators, 15-12.
And don't know what happened there, Matt. Looked like she wasn't ready for the serve, but the Gators will take the point.
A little bit of a knuckleball there, Diego.
Definitely.
Anderson here again. Played by the libero of the Broncos to a setter to an opposite attack. Tipped at the net by Haney. Broncos still play it on a free ball that is not over on the 3rd touch. Gators score again, 16-12.
And we saw the Gators have an effective wall there, which has been a rarity tonight. Their defensive front has not been as strong as we've seen in games past. We'll see if they could continue that defense to take this second set. They got a 4-point lead on the Broncos right now.
And another timeout taken by the Broncos here, trying to cool the Gators off a little bit. It's a 16-12 game. This seems like a match between Jasmine Parrish of the Broncos and Jessica Haney of the Gators, as they are going duel for duel, tit for tat here tonight.
A little game within the game, Matt. I love to see it, but we cannot neglect to talk about the sets coming from Peyton Jensen. It's her MO. You know she's coming with it. She's been the assist leader for now 2 seasons in a row, and she is not disappointing tonight. Her overhead sets have been right on point with Haney, Trinity Barr, and Drew Morris all taking advantage of them.
Yeah, she has 19 assists tonight, totally as between the 2 sets, having a really good night, prototypical for the Gators offense, as she continues to feed Haney, feed Morris, and feed the offense that the Gators rely on the most.
And she's averaging 10.5 assists per set, so she's right on track to meet her average. Very consistent team here with the Gators. You got to think that they'll come through and get this win against the lower-ranked Broncos.
Coming out of the timeout here, we have Anderson to serve in a 16-12 match. Gators lead. Dug out by Parrish on the opposite side to a Broncos outside attack. That's tipped at the net for a Broncos score. Broncos side out of the timeout.
Tough one there for the Gators. A lot of velocity on that kill. Will get the Broncos a little bit closer to tying this thing up.
Here's the Broncos to serve. Played nicely by Morris to Peyton Jensen to a back set like you like, Diego. And Bailey Johnson, the senior, hammers it home.
And she's been quiet in the first half of this second set. We'll see if she can get going. She's the senior. She's a real emotional leader, but she also has the skills to pay the bills.
And here we are, Haney to serve. Nice serve by her, but played by the Broncos to an outside attack. That is dug cleanly, played nicely by the Gators with the free ball over. Broncos ball, middle row attack, and it finds the floor on the Gators side. Broncos score.
And a beautiful play there by Sophie Anderson to keep it in bounds. She was running all the way out by her bench, but a consistent attack by the Broncos was able to have them capitalize and score on a great volley. Jensen almost had the dig, but wasn't able to get there in time.
Great effort, though, by the Gators side as the Broncos serve here. Played by Morris off her chest to a Jensen, to Morris. Hammered it home, tipped at the net, and Jasmine Parrish couldn't get it either. But Gators score.
I saw that one coming from a mile away, Matt. I don't know about you. Right after she bumped that ball, she was getting ready for the kill attempt and had a great approach, got great verticality, assist by Jensen, scored for the Gators.
Yeah, this team's got great chemistry. They know when to feed each other and when each other wants the ball. As Gillespie serves here with the Gators, out of bounds. Unfortunately, a tough service error by the Gators, letting the Broncos hang in 18-15.
And we got a substitution coming for the Gators. Number 13, Jade Gillespie will check out, who just had the service error. Broncos ball.
Broncos serving here. Nice play by the Gators to an attack by Barr, but into the net. And it's 18-16. Broncos to serve again.
And she was pretty cramped up there, Matt. Didn't have too many steps for the approach. I think it affected that kill attempt.
Yeah, it was not a very good offensive play by the Gators. Broncos serving here, looking for a little more offense by the Gators. Into the net, a service error by the Broncos, 19-16.
And the Gators don't mind seeing that. Pomona's had trouble serving the ball all night. They can't make mistakes like that if they want to beat this high-ranked Gators squad.
And here's Jensen to serve for the Gators.
And we got a Bronco who needs to tie her shoe.
Jensen serving here. Played defensively by the Broncos to a setter, to an outside attack, opposite attack, and not been able to dug out by the Gators for another Broncos score.
And a good overhead set by the Broncos and a kill by Michaela Diamond will bring the Broncos within 2 points of the Gators. And here's another crucial point, Matt. If the Broncos can keep in possession of the ball and get some aces here, they could steal another set.
Exactly, as the Broncos serve, and it's played by Garcia. A bump set to Jensen to Anderson, but it's tipped at the net, blocked at the net to Anderson again. Over, played by the Broncos defensively, as the setter tries to dump it, but she dumps it into the net instead, and the Gators side out 2017, getting the fans involved.
Oh yeah, the crowd is starting to get hyped up. They could see the importance of the moments in the game now, and that was a great defensive play by Sophie Anderson, who comes out of the game. She was tracking the ball the whole time. Great hustle to finish out that defensive play.
And here's one of the leaders of the team, Drew Morris, to serve for the Gators. Played defensively by the Broncos to a set to an outside attack by Parrish, but blocked nicely on the net by Barr. Unfortunately, the Gators play it offensively to Haney, and it is hammered down. That tips off one of our banners in the gym for a Gators score. Haney again having a great set.
And good thing we're four-time conference champs, Matt, because that banner definitely affected Parrish's ability to save that ball. And she had a thundering kill attempt right before that, but Barr had no fear and got in front for the block.
Morris serves. This is played by the libero of the Broncos. Poor pass, but a back row attack played by Garcia of the Gators. Bump set by Jensen to Haney, of course, but it's blocked at the net. And that block went all the way back to the back row of the court and gets a Broncos score as they stay in this match, 21-18.
After seeing Haney completely eat him alive early in the second set, they were totally ready for that kill attempt and put up a great wall to block that score, giving the ball back to the Broncos.
Broncos serve here, dug out by Morris as it's a bump set to Jensen, opposite attack, but played by the Broncos, outside attack by the Broncos. Jensen on the net, tipped over by Barr, but played nicely by Morris and Dehaney. Free ball over as the Broncos play this one, mid-row attack, but dug out by Garcia with one hand. Jensen to Haney, blocked at the net as the Broncos stay on the defensive side, knowing Haney's going to get the ball and get a block, staying in this match.
Haney's definitely getting focused on by the Pomona defense. Every time the ball is in her area of the court, that wall is ready to go and putting up a strong front.
Broncos serve here as the ball's dug out by Morris, tipped at the net, hammered out of bounds by the Gators, 21-19. Broncos here.
And it's 21-20. The scoreboard is going all over the place.
Yeah, that was not my fault. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen, as it was going crazy with the Broncos serve here. Dug out by Morris. Set to Jensen to Haney again. Tipped, and she gets a point as the ball is tipped at the net. Gators score.
And what a stick-to-itive personality there by Jessica Haney. She got blocked twice in a row before that. They get her another set. She goes up with the same intensity and gets the score for the Gators. 3 more to take the second set.
A lot of confidence in this match as Garcia serves it, trying to finish this off. Set to the Broncos setter. And in the back row of the Gators court, 22-21 Broncos.
And we got a 1-point game here in the second set, Matt. I know me and you were both coming in here thinking it was going to be a quick night, but not with the Broncos taking the sweep.
Yeah, no, we're definitely experiencing a nice game here as Jasmine serves it to Garcia, played on the opposite side to Jensen, to an attack by Johnson, but played by the Broncos, and unfortunately off the block of Haney, and it's a 22-22 game in the second set. It's getting fun tonight, Diego.
And we're all knotted up here. The Broncos really took advantage of knowing when a crucial point in the game was and really keeping control of the ball and scoring a few points when they needed them.
Freshman Parrish serves here, dug out by Garcia on the opposite side to Haney, again blocked by the Broncos. Jensen again to Haney, tipped at the net by the Broncos defensively to an outside attack. Played nicely by Morris, bump set to Haney again. That is tipped by Parrish on the opposite side, but Broncos able to play it. Parrish, a back row attack, shoved over, back to Jensen, to a middle row attack by Johnson. Outside attack by the Broncos, and it is just a tough play, unfortunately, by Jensen and Morris, and it finds the floor. 23-22 forces the Gators timeout as they look for some composure here.
And Matt Thorson got to be looking at his squad, telling them that, Matt Hoffman's got to be looking at his squad, telling them that they need to take this second set if they want to keep control of this game. Going down 0-2 could be really detrimental for the Gators.
Yeah, if they do that, they got to win 3 in a row, and with the way the Broncos are playing tonight, that would be a tough 3 sets to win, with the Broncos dominating defensively, even though the Gators continue to feed Haney.
And the Gators looked really good coming out of their last time out. We'll see if Hoffman can use similar tactics to get his team fired up and close out this second set. It's win by 2. The Broncos are 2 away from stealing this second set and going up 2-0.
Yeah, now the Broncos fans from all the way from Pomona in Southern California are getting a nice chant going, trying to get their team into it. They're a young team consisting of 10 freshmen and sophomores, a lot of whom are playing tonight, including the stud Jasmine Parrish.
And you got to love the energy tonight in the Don Nasser Plaza. Everybody knows how close this game is and how important this point is, and people are getting involved.
Here's that freshman Parrish to serve in a 23-22 match. Gators play it defensively as it's a set to Jensen to Haney again. That's blocked by the Broncos, and they keep feeding Haney, but it keeps getting blocked.
Yeah, you got to think they might be looking at somebody else because the Broncos are 1 score away from taking this second set.
And here's Parrish to serve in a game point. Played by Garcia to a back row attack by Johnson, but played nicely by the Broncos to a free ball over. Jensen bump sets to Haney as she pushes it over, and it's out of bounds. Gator Broncos take the second set, 25-22.
And man, what a turn of events here at Don Nasser Plaza. The Gators looked like they had that second set, got a late lead, and then gave it up. Cal Poly Pomona is fired up. They're heading back to their bench with all the momentum of this game. The Gators are down 0-2, and they really need to turn it around if they're going to win this game and take some positive energy coming into tomorrow against the #1 team in the nation.
Yeah, tomorrow's a big day for the Gators as they trying to face off here versus one of the weaker teams in the division, and it looks like they might have overlooked them as they might have thought they might have been too easy to beat, and now they're reaping the consequences, down 2-0.
I'm really looking at the serving from the Gators to see if they could get some points off of aces. Serving hasn't been a strong point for them, and we'll see if they can get that going. Contrarily, the Broncos' front line has been shutting Jessica Haney down after she scored a bunch of points in the first and second set. She has been completely bottled up. You got to give it to the Broncos' game plan, saying no more from her. We got to look to see if Trinity Barr and Bailey Johnson can get going for the Gators and get that offensive momentum back on their side and hopefully take a set.
Yeah, Gators definitely need to get back into this offensively and defensively, but especially on the attack. The Gators have 16 attack errors tonight, and for one of the better hitting teams in the nation and against one of the worst defending teams in the nation, that's just not going to get it done.
Yeah, and with Cal Poly ranked 10th in team hitting percentage at only 18.7%, you got to say that they're playing above expectations tonight and really rising to the occasion playing against this #1 Gators team.
Yeah, and they're also ranked dead last with only 13.48 digs per set. But they are playing very nicely defensively, especially coming off the ball. When the ball comes off, Jessica Haney, Drew Morris, Trinity Barr, Bailey Johnson.
And even with their less than great season, Pomona still has some offensive threats on their team. Bryn Sherbert has 17 service aces already on the season, and Kyra Zimmerman has 523 assists. So you really can't sleep on them. I would say that their record doesn't really portray how good of a team they are.
As we look over the replay from the second set here in Don Nasser Plaza, which was a set that was dominated by the Broncos as it ended. A nice slow-mo replay of Trinity Barr's close court side kill there.
And we got a good serve there by Taylor Garcia, but it was sent right back by Pomona. Good volley here. We got about 2.5 minutes until the third set. It's a must-win set for the Gators, or else we will be going home early tonight, Matt.
Yeah, and I was looking to a nice Friday night, but this could ruin it all if the Gators lose this third set. Gators are looking for a nice night theirself as well. But in turn, if they were to come back and win this match, that would be just as much momentum to carry into tomorrow night versus the #1 team in the nation.
And I think the best defensive former for the Gators has by far been Taylor Garcia, the libero. She has been getting digs and sending the ball back at a high clip. I would keep an eye on her to see if she could spread around that good energy and get the rest of her teammates going.
Yeah, and just to show how good the Broncos have been defensively on the block in these first two sets, they have 12 total assisted blocks, leading to 6 total blocks, compared to just the Gators having 2. So the Broncos have been definitely up on the net, stopping Haney, stopping Morris.
Yep, and the Gators average 2 aces per set on the season, and they haven't really been reaching that average yet. So like I said earlier, we'll see if the services could clean up for the Gators and really give them a more offensive threat to start out the third set.
Yeah, in that second set, the Gators started out nicely, getting on a nice little run, and that's what I look to see out in this third set. But keep that run going and not let the Broncos get the ball.
They're also going to need to do a better job blocking #2 Jasmine Parrish. She is by far their #1 offensive option and has been getting the ball, it seems like, every other play.
Yeah, she's got 18 total attempts on the night, hitting up with 4 kills. So she's definitely been a factor. She's also been a factor on the defensive side with 4 digs and 8 receptions of the ball as well. Our reception is just when a free ball goes over and she plays it defensively.
The Gators had 9 blocks in their last game against CSU Monterey Bay. We'll see if they can get back more into that defensive zone coming into the third and must-win set against these Cal Poly Pomona Broncos.
All right, well, Gator fans, welcome back here to Don Nasser Plaza as the Broncos have a 2-0 lead, having some fun on the court, and the Gators are all business coming back, looking to dominate this third set and the 2 consecutive sets that follow and go into tomorrow night with a lot of momentum.
Pomona took the first set 17-25 and then took the second set 25-22. So although the Gators were able to get their offense a little bit more efficient in that second set, they're going to need to find something more if they want to win this third set and hopefully take the game away from the Broncos. Jessica Haney is leading the Gators with 9 kills tonight, followed by Drew Morris with 5 and Bailey Johnson with also 5.
All right, here we are as the Gators to serve here first in this third set.
And the teams are dead even right now in kills per team with 23. We'll see who could take the lead in that stat and maybe take away the advantage moving forward.
Garcia to serve here to start the third set, played by the Broncos on our side to the Broncos set with a middle row attack, bumped at the net, and unfortunately it finds the floor as the Broncos get the first point of this third set.
And a gentle roll off the tape just put it out of Jensen's range and gave the score to the Broncos. They take an early 1-0 lead.
And that was the first time I've seen the Gators go up in a 3-person defensive block. Maybe we could see some more of that tonight on the defensive side with the Gators in this third set.
I agree, Matt.
Off the catwalk here, but Garcia plays it. Outside attack by Haney. Free ball over, that doesn't even get over, and the Gators get a point here. Side out in the second service of the set.
And a rare offensive attack there for Cal Poly Pomona. They've been really efficient and effective on their offensive attacks with number 2, Jasmine Parrish, coming out of the back.
And here's Gillespie to serve for the Gators. Nice serve that is in the back row. A great service ace, and that's what we've been looking for, knowing the Gators are capable of that tonight.
And like I said, Matt, they're going to need to get their serves back on track if they're going to take away this third set.
Gillespie again looking for another ace here. Nice serve, but dug out towards the scorer's table, but over to a Gators defensive set to Jensen. Opposite attack. That is in for a Gators score, 3-1, as they take another little momentum to lead this third set.
Bailey Johnson was real comfortable in that approach, knew exactly what she was doing. This is the team I'm used to watching, Matt.
Gillespie to serve again here, third in a row. But unfortunately, a forced service error as it goes into the net. First of the set for the Gators here. Jasmine Parrish to serve offensively for the Broncos.
And Jasmine Parrish struggled earlier with a serve going off the net. We'll see if she can clean it up here.
Parrish serves. Played by Morris on the opposite side to Jensen, to an outside attack by Haney. Dug out nicely off the speaker in the catwalk, but to a free ball over. Played by Haney. Jensen, tip, but back over by the Broncos. To Hansen again at the net. They meet each other. A free ball that's going to go over for the Broncos. That's out of bounds. Smart play right there by Jade Gillespie. And the Gators get another point with Haney to serve here.
Very high IQ there by the Gators defense to let that dump off go out of bounds. It was a real close one, Matt.
Yeah, she ducked out of that one, limbo style. Haney serves here, played by the Broncos. Libero set to the Broncos, opposite attack, tipped at the net, and unfortunately close to the scores table, finds the floor. 4-3 Broncos side out.
And once again, a great offensive attack by the Broncos there to get it through the Gators defense and in for the score. We'll see if they could keep that going with their libero back to serve.
Broncos libero serving here in a 4-3 match, played by Garcia on the opposite side to Jensen, to a middle row attack by Johnson, but played defensively to a libero set on the opposite side, played by Sophie Anderson on the Gators ball. Johnson plays it over on a free ball. Broncos set to an outside attack, tipped at the net, but played by Anderson. Garcia bump set. Morris attack. Played by the Gators. Broncos. Broncos outside attack. Jensen to an outside. Morris. Hammered down off Parrish. Nice volley there. Gators get a point. 5-3.
And a great IQ there by Bailey Johnson, knowing that her teammate was right behind her and to not go up with a beautiful set by Jensen. Another score for the Gators. They got a 2-score lead.
As we're working on substitution here, as Johnson checks out for
Marlena Billings.
Marlena Billings, pardon me, as Billings is set to serve here in a 5-3 match as well. Coming off the bench with a jump serve. Played nicely by Parrish on the Broncos side. To a push that finds the floor on the Gators side. Looked a little bit questionable to me, but the refs think it's okay, and the Broncos side out.
And it was great hustle by the Gators. They had 2 players on the floor trying to get the pancake dig there, but they couldn't get there in time. Good dump by Pomona.
Broncos hanging in this one as they have been all night. Serve here. Played by the Gators, set to an outside Morris attack, blocked on the net, but played nicely by Garcia. But a free ball over, couldn't be hammered down by the Broncos. Couldn't be hammered down by the Gators as the Broncos score. I apologize. 5-5, tie game.
And the Broncos take a quick tie to this game with a lot of good serves.
Dug out by Anderson to an attack by Morris, tipped over, but played nicely by the Broncos to a middle row attack that is off the chest of Garcia and then out of bounds. Anderson couldn't get to it. Broncos take the lead, 6-5.
And that front line is still looking pretty porous, Matt. They're going to have to tighten up and get some more 3-block fronts if they're going to win this set.
Broncos serve here. That is inbounds, lands on the line as the ref calls it in. A free point there given up by the Gators. 7-5, Broncos score.
And a close call there to give the ace to the Broncos will give them a 2-point lead over the Gators.
Played defensively off the serve by the Gators to a Morris attack. Parrish plays it nicely, set by the Broncos to an outside attack. That is out of bounds, which the ref on the stanchion rules it was tipped at the net. So unfortunately, the Broncos score. Gators can't seem to side out here, 8-5.
And man, that must have been a real quick tip, Matt, because I didn't see it at all. It looked like that ball got sent straight out of bounds, but clearly the ref has a better view than I.
Yeah, I didn't see that one at all either, but that's, Division II sports don't have instant replay. Serving by the Broncos here, out of bounds. A nice forced service error to force the Gators ball, and it looks like we're going to have the setter, Jensen, to serve here.
And that one was far outside on the back line there for the Broncos to give the ball back to the Gators, who are down by 2 and looking to get the lead back.
Jensen serves over to dugout by the Broncos libero, tipped over by the Broncos setter that couldn't get dug out on the opposite side. Broncos score.
And what a smart play by Kyra Zimmerman, noticing that the Gators were out of position and just doing a quick dump off to fool them.
Yeah, Broncos playing a lot of heads-up volleyball tonight as they serve here, but it's played by Morris on the opposite side. Set to Jensen, attacked by Barr, but blocked at the net. And the Broncos are just getting lucky tonight when these blocks are finding the floor.
And you got to think that they're starting to think that they can win this game because they have been playing great defense and stopping all the attacks by the Gators and now are enjoying a 4-point lead.
Yeah, they're having a lot of fun tonight here in the Swamp. The Gators are not, but it's a set by Jensen, tipped over, played by Parrish. Free ball back over by the Broncos. Dig out by libero, set to Morris. Blocked, and it's tipped up. Played nicely to Parrish, who finds the near side of this court. Broncos score again. 11-6, forcing a timeout by Matt Hoffman and the Gators. They just can't seem to get right tonight, Diego.
It seems like they're having a lot of trouble figuring out how to stop the Broncos' attack. They're having great sets, and Parrish is always in the perfect spot to execute the kill and find the floor. The Broncos now have a 5-point lead on the Gators, looking to sweep them here.
Yeah, it would be a very impressive sweep, probably their biggest win of their season if they can come up with it for the Broncos, especially knowing that the Gators take on a very formidable opponent tomorrow night. They're trying to take all the air out of the Gators, I apologize, and they've definitely taken the air out of the gym with an 11-6 lead.
And the kill leader for Pomona right now has to be Jasmine Parrish.
She has 5, while Ali Wilder and a couple other Broncos have 7 kills apiece.
So even with the amount of times that we've called Parrish's name, she is not even the kill leader for their team, which is a testament to how well they've been playing and been able to score on the Gators' defense. I wonder who they're going to look to really shore up that front line and start to get some blocks.
Gators looking for a big side out here defensively as the Broncos are set to serve in an 11-6 match with them leading 2-0. Gators need the ball and need to go on a run here in order to stay in this match.
With 17 attack errors on the game, the Gators are going to have to look to clean that up.
Broncos serve, but it's played by Morris, set to Jensen. A middle row attack, but it's tipped and played nicely, but a back row attack by the Broncos. Out of bounds, Gators ball. Let's see what we can get going here, Diego.
And they really needed that to go their way in order to get the ball back in their hands and score a point, something they hadn't done in a while.
And here we are with the junior captain, Drew Morris, to serve here. Played nicely defensively to a set to Parrish. That is inbounds on the cross-court kill by Parrish. 12-7 Broncos here.
And she is so consistent, Matt. Every single time she goes up for the ball, you can almost count the score for the Broncos.
Yeah, and she has a very high vertical, literally giving her a chance to think about where she wants to attack the ball, and that time it was across the court for a kill.
The Broncos lead the Gators 32 kills to 26, which is giving them a clear advantage in the game, leading this third set 12-7 and being up 2-0 against this top-ranked Gators team.
Drew Morris was discussing something with the referee there, a possible discrepancy with the team, but we won't speculate as the Broncos serve here, and it's played nicely by Morris defensively to a set to Barr, and it's blocked by the Broncos, but out of bounds. Finally, something going the way for the Gators.
And a great kill attempt by Trinity Barr sent that block straight into the stands and gave the Gators another point, only 5 points more to tie it up, 8-12.
And here's the junior Garcia set to serve again, played by the defensive side of Broncos to a Parrish as well. In between the blockers of Barr and Johnson, and it finds the floor again for a Broncos score.
And like you said, Matt, the athleticism of Parrish allow her to get up and time the block and place it right in between the Gators defense in order to get that consistent scoring that she's had all night.
Broncos serve here as the ball is played by Morris on the defensive side. Middle row attack, out of bounds by Johnson. Unfortunately, by the Gators, nothing going right tonight in a 15-8 match.
Very unfortunate, Matt. The Gators are running out of time to get this thing back on track. We'll see what happens.
Morris again plays it defensively, set to Jensen, outside attack. That is inbounds. Nice attack by Haney, feeding her when they need points the most.
And that's the Gators' kill leader tonight. She has 11 now, and she's really going to be the one to turn this game around for them. If it's going to be anybody, it's going to be Haney. She's been very consistent. No matter how much the defense has come at her, she keeps attacking and she keeps scoring.
Haney with a lot of confidence, but unfortunately the Gators turn the ball over again. A forced service error by Jade Gillespie gives Jasmine Parrish a chance to serve here with a 15-9 score for the Broncos. Parrish serves as it's played by Garcia defensively, set to Jensen, outside attack, off the basketball stanchion, but the Broncos save it nicely and are send it over as it is set to Jensen, is out of bounds, unfortunately, and the Broncos score. All luck when you're here in the Bay, and it's just not going the way of the Gators tonight.
Crazy volley there off of the elevated basketball hoop there. Gave a really nice setup to Pomona to get the ball over, and then they executed great when the Gators were able to send it back and got another score. Like I said, Matt, their Gators are really going to have to turn it around now if they're going to get this must-win set.
Yeah, they need to turn this around right now, tying the shoe, maybe trying to slow down a little bit of momentum that the Broncos right have. We're okay with that, as Parrish is set to serve again here in a 16-9 match. It's 2-0 in the sets total. Broncos looking for a sweep, but we're looking to avoid that tonight.
We'll see what happens moving forward. We got Jasmine Parrish back to serve again. Broncos looking to wrap this one up.
Set by Jensen to Haney on the attack, but it finds the floor off two Broncos defenders. A nice pancake by the Broncos libero, but couldn't get it out. And now the Gators serve, looking for some momentum here.
And look at Haney here. We'll see if she can get an ace. Right on cue. Jessica Haney with an ace to bring the Gators within 5.
Speaking into existence, Diego. That was very nicely done by Haney. Served on the far side of the court as Parrish couldn't dig the ball up. Here's Haney to serve again.
Oh, and it goes off the tape. Haney had a chance to really regain some momentum there for the Gators, but they'll take the point as they've had a lot of trouble getting their offense going against these Broncos defensive front.
Broncos to serve here again as the libero serves in a 17-11 match. Out of bounds. Gators getting some luck as they're looking to hang in this match.
And a service error by the Broncos will give the Gators another score. They got to keep having clean serves and great defense if they're going to want to keep the possession and take command of this set.
Here we are to serve for the Gators. Dug out by Parrish on the opposite side. Out of bounds over the net. Gators ball hanging around. 13-17. Timeout, Broncos.
And the Broncos want to stifle anything that the Gators get going with the chance to wrap up this game with the 3-0 sweep. Timeout, Broncos. The serving has been much better for the Gators. We'll see if they could keep that up to hopefully steal this win and keep this game alive.
The Gators have only been swept twice this season by San Diego schools, Point Loma on September 6th, and by UCSD here in Don Nasser Plaza, home in the Swamp, on September 21st.
And to point out, Matt, that 3-0 loss to UC San Diego is the only loss the Gators have suffered here in Chomp City all season, which will kind of really solidify how big of a win this could be for Pomona, being how well the Gators have played here.
Yeah, this could be a whole season-changing win for the Broncos here if they can come through with this. But we're looking for the Gators to get on a nice momentum here with Brianna Dougherty to serve in the 13-17 match. Broncos fans starting a chant as the Gators fans try and rally back again. Dougherty serving here.
Dougherty already with one ace on the game. We'll see if she can add another one.
Played by Parrish to a set on an opposite attack. Off the net, set by Jensen. Outside attack, blocked. Set by Jensen, outside attack by Morris. Pushed it over, but played by Parrish. Thrown over by the setter of the Broncos. Set by Jensen. Tipped over by Morris. Broncos play it. Opposite attack. Gators ball set to Morris. Blocked, and again, it finds the back side of the court. Gators don't have anybody back there. That's the third or fourth time the Broncos have done that.
And what fantastic focus by the Broncos to keep that play alive and come out with the score. We saw Bailey Johnson go up with at least 4 attack attempts there, and they stuck with it every single time, got the digs, and sent it over for the score on the back line.
Broncos serve as it's dug out by Morris. They're met at the net, and Jensen forces the ball over, getting the ball back to the Gators, 14-18.
And Jensen looked over at the much bigger Zimmerman and said, "I'll meet you at the top."
We call that a poster in basketball.
Great job there by Jensen, who is now back to serve for the Gators.
14-18, Gators ball. Crucial third set. Out of bounds, unfortunately, on the service error by Jensen. Nothing going the way of the Gators tonight. 19-14, the Broncos ball.
And that's another service error for the Gators. They're going to have to get those cleaned up if they're going to make a move moving forward in this game. Service error right back for the Broncos.
Just right back at him, and it's keeping the Gators in this. Morris to serve again. She's been a threat tonight with a couple kills offensively.
And the Gators are ahead in service errors, 11-9. Seems like whoever can clean that up will take advantage.
Morris serves. It's just played by the Broncos to a back set attack. Pancaked, but couldn't be wedged in between as the Broncos score 20-15. Only 5 more points for these Lady Broncos if they want to walk out of this swamp tonight.
Beautiful tip there by number 1, Caitlin Tucker for Pomona, who comes out of the game.
Broncos serve here in a crucial set. Played by Morris defensively. Bump set by Jensen to an attack by Haney. Dug out by the Broncos side. Attack by Parrish. Tipped at the net. Played by Garcia nicely. Bar hammers it home, but the Broncos get it defensively. Back row attack. Morris plays it close to the catwalk. 3 ball over. No communication on the Gators side. And that's been the story of the night. 21-15 as Barr and Morris couldn't decide on who wanted to bump the ball back over.
And a campfire there around the bump by Jensen. Terrible time for a mistake like that.
And a service error by the Broncos on the opposite side makes this a 21-16. We need a Gators run here in order for it.
That was just a gift by Pomona there, Matt. If that service would have been an ace, it would have been all but wrapped up here at Don Nasser Plaza.
True that. As Garcia serves here. Played by the Broncos defensively. Set. Parrish gets it over. As it's a bump set by the libero Garcia. Tipped by Haney. Tipped by the Broncos. Tipped at the net. Tipped by the libero. Parrish to hit attack again. Out of bounds for the Gators as they score. Garcia to serve again, getting some points.
And San Francisco State stays alive here. It's 17-21. Broncos ahead. Garcia back to serve.
Played by the Broncos to the setter. Parrish attacks in between Barr and Johnson again. She's just got that athleticism that allows her to attack the ball at the highest point, and she hammered it home for the Broncos, 22-17.
And Parrish is an absolute monster. The Gators have had no answer for her offensive attacks tonight, and it looks like she's going to send them home with a sweep.
Broncos serve here. And a receiving error by Morris. That is the story of the night. Broncos serving again here, an ace for them.
And that was Kyra Zimmerman on the ace. She's back for her second serve.
Played again by Morris. Set to Jensen. Middle row attack that's blocked. And it's blocked all the way to the bleachers, 24-17. Broncos have all the momentum in the crucial third set. Game, set, point, Broncos serving.
And Zimmerman's back for her third set. She can end it all here.
Here we are, Zimmerman serving as the Gators take this defensively. Dug out by Morris. Set to Jensen. Barr on the attack. Blocked, and it goes out of bounds towards the stands. Gators are going to hang in here, 18-24.
Hanging on by a thread, Matt, like you said earlier. We'll see if they can hold on and steal a set here.
And here we are in the crucial, very important serve here by the Gators. Nice service, the bump set by the libero to Parrish. Played nicely by the Gators, close to the catwalk, but we play it to an outside attack that is blocked and hit over by Haney as some Broncos can't get to it. Score is 19-24. Gators get the point.
And look at that hustle by Jasmine Parrish and Bryn Sherbert to try to get that pancake and keep the ball alive. You can see how bad Pomona wants this to win against a team as good as the Gators.
Here's Gillespie to serve, second time in a row. And a service error by the Gators closes this night out on a 3-0 sweep by the Broncos from Cal Poly Pomona, as we have some fans of them that traveled up and they got a sight to see, taking down the #1 team in the Northern Division, the San Francisco State Gators.
And only their second loss of the season here at Don Nassar Plaza. It was a formative ending to this game, Matt, with the service error. It seems like the Gators beat themselves just as much as Pomona's great defense stifled them, because they weren't able to get anything going. They had a big advantage in service errors and just wasn't able to get going on offense.
Yeah, and it's an unfortunate sight to see, knowing to have a big opponent tomorrow night and the #1 team ranked in the nation. But I still believe in these Lady Gators. They'll take a hard look in the mirror, watch the film, and come out with a strong showing tonight at tomorrow at 7 p.m.
And Pomona is definitely going to use this as a turning point of their season. Like we said, they had hardly any wins coming into today and were last place in their conference, so they can only go up from here.
And contrary to the belief that the Gators were one of the best hitting teams in the nation, they couldn't get it together tonight, as they only hit for a 10.2%, as the Broncos dominated the offensive side, attacking for a 4.7%.
And both teams were tied when it came to service aces, but the kills is where Pomona had a 3-kill advantage over the Gators and really made the difference for them. But not to mention their defensive front, Matt. It seemed like every single time the Gators tried to get an offense going, Pomona was right there with 3 or more defenders putting their hands up and sending that ball right back where it came from.
Yeah, Jane Woodrow of the Broncos had 1 solo assist and 1 solo block and 6 assists as well. So she was a threat for the Broncos on the defensive side.
And the Gators will move to 6-4 in their conference, which will keep them tied at the first place spot, but it'll put a lot more pressure on them moving into the real tough matchup tomorrow that we told you about versus CSU San Bernardino, who have only lost 5 sets on the year.
And that pushes the Gators record to 10-2 at home. Still a dominant showing here. It's in the Swamp. But they want to even dominate a little bit more tomorrow night, avoid a sweep, and come out on fire tomorrow night versus the San Bernardino.
And the Gators' 3-game win streak was snapped tonight by the Pomona Broncos, and their dominance at home is definitely being tested. We'll see if they could regain that home court advantage tomorrow, hopefully with a bigger crowd and definitely a bigger opponent.
We want to thank you for joining us tonight here at Don Nassar Plaza here in the Swamp. My name was Matt Massoni with my partner,
Diego Perez.
And we're looking forward to a big night by the Gators tomorrow, and we're out.
Good night. Okay.
I don't think Diego's white. He said his name's Matt, and I don't think Diego's white. I didn't say he was white. He said the other white guy. Yeah. There's another white guy. That implies that you're talking to a white guy and the other white guy.